Last spring, I came across an article on Facebook written by a Christian millennial. A millennial being someone roughly between the ages of 20 to 35. And he was writing about why so many millennials just aren't coming to church anymore. Now, he wasn't referring to those who never had any faith and who never believed in Christianity, but rather those who still do. It's just they don't believe in the church anymore. They feel that the church is either geared towards much older generations or younger youth, with nothing in between for millennials. And so many Christian millennials, just like himself, would much rather stay home on a Sunday morning and listen to a Christian podcast. Now, he listed many good points in his article, but I have to admit that as I was reading them, I began to get a little angry. And why? Glad you asked. Because his points seemed more like demands, and until those demands were met, he wasn't coming back to church. It was though he expected the church to bend over backwards, roll out the red carpet, and strike up the band to play just for him. Now, obviously, the church needs to do a lot more to accommodate millennials, but it cuts both ways, and I couldn't help but think that if this young man had actually made more of an effort in getting to know older people in the church, then his attitude might be just a little different. Because he might discover that that old man he's sitting beside, well, he's been faithfully reading his Bible every day, even before the millennial was born. He's been faithfully married to the same woman for over 40 years, and all of his adult children are following Christ. But conversely, that old gal across the aisle, 2 rows back, she tried to raise her kids to know Christ, but all of them have walked away from the faith as adults. In fact, one son is now an atheist. And her husband? Well, she did everything she could to save her marriage, but he ran off with a much younger woman many years ago. And the old gent in the back row, well, he chose his career over his wife and family losing both, and how he wished there was a reset button that he could hit, and how he wished he could talk to somebody like this young millennial and warn him not to do the same things that he did. There is just so much wisdom tied up in the pews of our churches, wisdom that you just won't find on a Christian podcast alone. So any Christian millennials out there, come back to church. We need you, and although you may not realize it, you need us as well. Speaking of millennials, my son has started up a blog called The Millennial Theologian, and I'll leave the link for that in the comments section below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please share it and give it a like. And if you haven't already, please like and follow my Facebook page and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you next Thursday.